Saki Shibata in the corner. She's part of the Mickey House team. So I have them both on paper as 19 years old. Hitomi Sato will be 20 December 23rd, I believe. So if you're following her on social media, you can wish her a happy birthday. She's had some very strong years recently, but these two right here, Chunmeng, 23, and Ju Yuling, 22 years old. The second seed in women's doubles. World Tour ranked at number 3. These are two of the most impressive players in the game right now. Ju Yuling's match against Liu Shiwen at the Women's World Cup in Canada was just unbelievable. And as many Kazakh fans are here, table tennis fans in their uniforms getting ready to watch a match that could change the way they play table tennis. Seeing it live is just a completely different world. So Chunmeng with some power and speed off the table. Ju Yuling with incredible touch and variety. Really, she looks so relaxed out here. Again, yesterday, Hitomi Sato was the most impressive I've seen her probably in a good year or two in terms of doubles play. So we will see. We have a lot of exciting matches today. 10 televised matches, including the match that could outright determine world rank #1 in the men's game. Now, interestingly enough, the two women battling for world #1 are Ju Yuling, who was just on screen, and Chunmeng with the slightly longer hair in red. Chunmeng is likely to take world #1. The only way it wouldn't happen is if Ju Yuling gets 2 rounds farther in the tournament, or further, I should say, than Chunmeng. So that would mean Chunmeng would have to lose in the quarterfinals. And then Ju Yuling, I think, would have to win the tournament. That's the only way Ju Yuling will retain the world #1 position. Chunmeng has worked very hard and had quite an impressive year. So we will see the Onegaishimases to their coach, Saki Shibata, the opponents. The inverted black rubber there for the serve, and Honoka Hashimoto to start this best-of-7 match. Quick, confident forehand. Ju Yuling steps around with the winner. Now, generally, the top Chinese players do not have trouble against choppers. It's quite rare to see one of the top Chinese players losing to a chopper. Oh, the angle there. Little break off the net early. You might have noticed Hitomi Sato twiddling the racket to push heavy with the black rubber when she came into the table. This is a pattern you will see from time to time. Sato also doing a right off the bounce chop block, sort of, minus the side spin. Awkward spinny ball goes just long. I recently saw a video of Deng Yaping, the little giant, the legend from China, playing with long pips on her backhand, demonstrating the shot that Hitomi Sato did in the second point of this match. Well placed into the legs, getting Hitomi Sato tripped up in the middle. Serve looks like topspin. We've seen this before. Yesterday it worked quite well as well. Very subtle contact, pulling up right after the contact. Clever idea for the fast long push. No problem, says Hitomi Sato. Again, there's an excellent culture within the Japanese National Association supporting doubles partners. Although I think at the professional level this is quite typical. Make sure your player feels safe, encouraged to play their best. Heavy topspin coming in from Ju Yuling. Yesterday, Sato was able to cover and counter, but the caliber and the quality of the loops coming in are going to be a bit different here. Just a little bit late on that to stay on top. Now, one thing we tend to see, sometimes choppers start off a bit stronger as players still settle in. Every chopper a little bit different. Of course, there are a few choppers from China. Some world-class choppers at that. That one escapes Sato a little bit. 2 attacks in a row from the choppers, but it doesn't pay off here. No flash photography. We've got Ju Yuling saying, hi, sorry, there's a flash. Chunmeng trying to help. Pretty much all players. Oh, there's one in the way back. Flashlight there, as they say in many parts of the world. Flash photography can be quite distracting for the players. Quality push down the line. Something in between a push and a chop. Either way, in near the table. Hashimoto playing it down the line. Wow, that backhand. Now sometimes a floating push like that, a floating chop, less rotation, can really rush somebody. Chunmeng takes it with the backhand and has a perfect read on the rotation. A lot of players will take the forehand on that when it's played deep into the body. Overlift when there's little rotation. So the Japanese defenders trailing by 2 right now. Right into the body, not even a racket on the ball. Ju Yuling with perfection right there. Solid little apology from Hashimoto. Every once in a while it hits the net and we don't notice. Sometimes a little bit of a missed contact changes the trajectory of the ball. The speed of the shots coming in, Sato hasn't really gotten comfortable yet in some of the defensive game. We've seen it from the middle, and here a little bit wider to the forehand. Clever idea, a little bit of a strawberry there. Looked like she did it with the long pip side of the racket too. It's gotta be tough to control. 4 game points for the Chinese pair to take the first. It's not the first time we've seen the Chinese pairing a little bit off balance on their loops. It's a good job by the Japanese duo here, changing up the depth on the table. That one a little bit more shallow. Heavy spin from Sato, but the placement earns the point. Chunmeng on the run. Now against choppers, a lot of players get a little bit comfortable, feeling like they don't need to rush to be on the defense themselves. They're the attackers after all. But that's one of the reasons it's so important for modern defenders to be able to attack. Fast long push, and it's loaded with the inverted rubber. Sato, this is the 3rd point in a row for the Japanese pair, saving 3 game points and 1 away from deuce in the first. It's a best of 7 match, so a long road. But taking that first game could tighten up the Chinese pairing. Definitely couldn't hurt the chances for the choppers. Wow, that one looked loaded, and Ju Yuling overlifts. The first power shot I thought for sure would win the point. 4 in a row for Hashimoto and Sato. So some momentum here. We'll see if Sato with the serve. She's gotten outright service points before. Looks like topspin. Half long with underspin. Oh, into the middle again. Hashimoto was able to save a ball from way behind the table. There's the attack. Sato a little late to break into that ball. I know she can lob well when she needs to, but it's game point back to Chunmeng and Ju Yuling. That angle, the inside-out forehand from Hashimoto deep to the backhand corner. We do have 2 right-handed players on both sides. Typically with attackers, we have 1 lefty and 1 righty in doubles. Wow, Sato It's impressive to me how many times they've gotten points with the Chinese pair overlifting. Again, spin variation off the long pip side of the racket is much tougher to impart. Game point to the Japanese pair on the receive. Oh, just off balance. Sato turned a moment late, turned the racket for that backhand attack. A break here. Ju Yuling leaves this one sky high. Yesterday, Sato made shots much more difficult than that time and time again, but the pressure really on here. Fourth towel break of the game. Third deuce point. That is too pretty. Ju Yuling with power deep to the corner. This rally, just outstanding play on both sides. But finally, a devastating finisher. Look how hard, how heavy that spin is. Caught the edge of the table there, it appeared. Could see the trajectory come down. But either way, when Ju Yuling rears back like that, it's trouble. Game point to the Chinese pair. Oh, fast long serve, and Hashimoto's loop goes out 14-12. Quite a race to take the first. We'll be back to see who takes game number 2 right after this.
なんか裏のボールは多分バックでコーンってくるから、でもイボラでバックでまだ一本も来てないから。
Back for game number 2. Just to let you know how they got here, Hashimoto and Sato yesterday won 3-1 over Matilda Ekholm and Georgina Pota. And on the other side, Chun Meng and Ju Yuling won 3-0 over Ingwing Nam and Minnie Su from Hong Kong. Pressure to keep it low, but Honoka Hashimoto finds the net. Also on the other side of the draw, the winner of this match will play the final against Mima Ito and Hina Hayata, or Du Hoi Kem and Lee Ho Ching. Clever idea. I think that's the right choice for Hashimoto to try and play it deep to the backhand. Get an out of position, weaker shot, but it's tough. Chun Meng quick on the feet. This is where all the physical fitness comes in. Oh, flip to burn. Serve sits up just a little bit high, and there's clear spin on it for Chun Meng. Not a point dropped yet, despite saving game points. Winning 14-12 in game 1. Wow, it's as short as they drop off the top of the net. That one seemed to climb up and down the backside. So first towel break of the game, and only 1 point dropped by the Chinese pair, with Lee Swin in the corner, who again has coached some legendary women in table tennis. Short side of the table, a bit too short for Chunmung on that shot. Second point for the Japanese pair. Oh, the favor return. Table tennis karma off the top of the net and just dribbling over. Formal apology there. Can only feel a little bit fair, though. Whoa. Oh, almost comes down. A backhand flat hit shot, a kill. I can't believe Hashimoto was able to turn the racket around that fast. A moment's notice. Still a 3-point lead for the pair in red. So quick off the bounce, smart play. Occasionally, if you hit a topspin, we see a lot of defenders playing topspin shots to win the point. Less topspin than most. Hashimoto definitely has the flatter of the two shots between her and Sato. Sato more of a looping counter game. Spin on both sides. That long serve, Chunmung has been very comfortable with the deep topspins to the forehand side. She's in position. Clever placement. Hashimoto hadn't settled her feet yet. One of the many things that sets the Chinese players apart. The physical fitness, the footwork, they're just faster. Clever idea, Ju Yuling quite expressive after this miss. Still 6 game points left. Despite a very narrow win in game 1. A dominant start to game 2. There it is, 11-4. It's Chunmung and Ju Yuling to go up 2-0. Hashimoto and Sato have their work cut out. We'll see if Saki Shibata in the corner can help guide them to a game here. Game number 3 coming up after this. Back for game number 3, the Chinese pairing. Chunmung and Ju Yuling, world number 1 and world number 2, are leading 2-0. Cameras started in the corner. They will be studying this match. I think the amount of studying going into the game, still more on the Chinese side. Japan has definitely been investing a lot of money to help grow the table tennis, to strengthen the team, both the men's and women's side. And there are many players from Japan here, just like China. Too powerful. We will see. We will see if the Japanese players can improve quicker than the Chinese to continue catching up. Still a long way to go. And after all those nets, what, 2-3 opportunities? Even had a shot with the long pips in near the table. I think on the forehand side of the racket for Hashimoto, but Sato's backhand just missing again. Clever idea, uses the long pips. Tries to give back a dead ball. Maybe Saki Shibata said, just confuse them a bit. Catch them off guard. Sometimes play with the long pips on the forehand side. It's got to be tougher to do, less comfortable. Loose point, first one for the Japanese pairing. First tile break of the game, and they're only down by 2 now. From the start of this game, it looked like they were going to continue the Chinese pair to run away like they did in game number 2. Up 10-3 before winning, what, 11-4? Oh, as fortunate as can be after a strong rally. We saw a backhand chop with the inverted rubber from off the table. Earlier, I think it was Sato who did it. This one stays very shallow, and Chunmung still never gives up, but just can't get to it. 3 in a row for the Japanese pair. Wow. As far as table tennis karma goes, the Chinese pair have a lot in the bank right now. Feels like about 4-1 for points won for the Japanese pair by net. Maybe 2, I guess, in that replay, Ju Yuling's loop deep to the corner of the table. But that's 4 in a row, and it's tied up suddenly. Those long topspin serves from memory haven't been as effective. Clever idea, this ball bends back into the body. Hashimoto coming around the outside of the ball, same spin as a chop block. And then Sato makes this parallel shot for the winner. It's been a little while since Sato's delivered in the attack game, at least for a winner. Yesterday could not be stopped in the attack. Middle to middle, the shortest part of the table on that opportunity. So from down 0-4 to up 6-5. These are the points we love on the run. Sato from way behind keeps it in play. Both Hitomi Sato on the left there and Honoka Hashimoto running so fast back into the table, covering so much space side to side. And still they're twiddling when need be. Try to keep it a bit confusing for the attackers. Oh, the backhand counter finds the net. A bold shot from behind the table. Looked like Hashimoto was trying to calm herself down. The shot comes into play. Quite a way to win the point, but it didn't look like the point would be over. The Chinese team in position. It's a few backhands now that Hashimoto hasn't been able to put down. You could hear that high cracking sound. That means it's a very flat hit, not as much spin. That tends to be her shot, forehand and backhand. Hashimoto a bit flatter. We see a variety of attack attempts from choppers. Too crisp. Ju Yuling a little bit off the top of the net, apologizes. I think they still have a few left, maybe 1 or 2 left in the bank. saving that one. Again, that serve that comes back into the body, this time with less rotation, a floating serve, and Zhu Yuling lets it loose. So 9 points apiece, the frustration settling in a bit on the Chinese side. Third towel break of the game, and it will be decided here by 2 points. Not quite now or never time, but realistically, if the Japanese pair wants a chance at this, taking this game here will be quite crucial. Tough to imagine two choppers coming back from down 0-3. Almost! I guess it's pretty deep there, but that swatting attempt after Sato comes racing into the table. If Hashimoto can bring that back down, it'd be all over the highlights. Game point for the Chinese pairing to have a 3-0 lead. Too wide, Chunmung with the angle. 11-9, another narrow escape here after a dominant game two, and we'll see if anything changes in game four. Valiant effort from the choppers, but the attackers here on top of the world. Game four coming up right after this.
バックで回るのもある。多分そんなオンっていうのはないじゃん。でもやっぱ粘られるの結構嫌そう。
咱做出这个动作，完了不是你搓个长的劲，他就攻上你一个，完了以后3、4个都打不到，合算的那种，所以根本不用慌，是吧？人家要松下来，后来开局那几个就抖上劲儿了，哎，打开一点，看往上劲儿，一动悠着你努力周期就站着。老是这么说，得放内，把板头打开一点，悠着它，不用说你非得拉多死全上，都是一种战术变化，自然得分啊就可以啊。
So you had a chance to catch the body language and hear a few words from both of the coaches, Lee Swin and Saki Shibata. We will see here. Again, Hashimoto getting quite clever on the service game. We've seen different tricks and attempts out there, from Twiddle's use of the long pips in near the table, which typically is not done as much. We tend to see pushes with the inverted rubber from in near the table to create more spin. They're just so consistent. Both Zhu Yuling and Chunmung after game one have found quite a rhythm, not making as many easy mistakes here. 2 shots in a row from the forehand with long pips. Some variety from the choppers. Good placement here. Hashimoto with a deep push, fast and wide. In the old school game, we used to think of choppers as way far away from the table, and I think it's still thought of that way. Oh, after all that work, the sky lobs come down, and Zhu Yuling crawling for the ball, floats it back up on the table. Hashimoto left with this spinless ball. Tries to play it down the line. Chunmung in position, keeps the pressure on. What a point. Not quite the point we saw before. They can't all be spectacular, or else they wouldn't be spectacular. Not by comparison anyway, they wouldn't stand out. Timeout here for the Japanese pair. The choppers, the Katoman, will be in the corner talking with the full-out attacker. Now, Saki Shibata, as you can imagine, is not normally the coach. Coach Mika Baba has another pair, Mima Ito and Hina Hayata, on a side table. So the Mickey House team, just Saki Shibata, Hitomi Sato, Onoka Hashimoto, and the fourth will come to my mind just a bit. Saki Shibata, a very fast attacker. I've seen a lot of Japanese players. I feel like her footwork and her strength and speed is closer to that of the Chinese players than maybe anybody on the Japanese women's team. She's way up there despite her world ranking being just a little bit behind. So talking about the attacks, you could hear her talking about the elbows, the long strokes, and the wrist of Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling. Because one problem that we've seen from Honoka Hashimoto and Hitomi Sato is they haven't been in position on several occasions. They've been surprised by the placement and the angles of Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling. Now, when we saw Lee Sun talking earlier to Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling, you could see talk about snapping at the elbow, which you have to imagine involving staying loose but making sure that you're using all parts of the arm there as opposed to a stiff shot. This will keep the defenders guessing a bit, keep you a bit more loose and versatile in your attack game, less predictable. Zhu Yuling rushed the shot there, tried to play it inside out, tried to play that loose forehand shot. So first point out of the timeout to the Japanese pair. A little bit of encouragement, morale boost. Oh, edge of the table on the counter. Top spin. I think they're waiting for some eye contact for the apology. There it is. But Hashimoto has been so effective in those long dart-like pushes. A little bit less rotation, wide out to the forehand. Crisp opening. Stops a little bit of a streak after 2 in a row for the Japanese pair. So now 5 serving 3. So Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling leading 6-3 now. Han Zhuan, so spinny. Quite an impressive push to start off the rally, or finish the rally as well. Start and finish. Very puzzled, Zhu Yuling stands there watching and wondering. It's not the first time we've seen this reaction from her now. Hashimoto's ball was very awkward to cover it near the legs at the back of the table. 2-point lead at the second towel break of the game. Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling looking to cruise through this without dropping a game. Now maybe cruise is not the perfect way to say it, considering 2 of the games have been quite tight. But if they continue the way they've been going so far, they will have a complete shutout here, a bagel. And the fishing shot doesn't come down. The strawberry was a good idea on the receive. Definitely caught the Chinese pair on the run, a little bit out of position. 4-point lead now for Chunmeng and Zhu Yuling. There it is, the attack wide to the forehand. Hashimoto's had the better percentages so far in this match. But the footwork from both of the choppers, putting some side spin on it, I think that was sort of a last resort, just well-placed balls right into the legs. Chinese pair well trained on where to hit the ball when they can. Oh, wide open. Sato caught way out on the forehand side. Maybe expected it to come back cross court. Didn't think Hashimoto's shot would be so deep to the backhand side. And it left open a gaping hole on the backhand side of the table. 4 match points for Chun Meng and Zhu Yuling to move on to the women's doubles final. 1 match point saved. Times like this, the pair with their back against the ropes, the choppers have to be thinking, win this point, just this point. And once again, just this point. 3rd towel break, they've saved 2 match points in a row. As you could imagine, it'd be quite overwhelming to think about coming back and winning 4 games in a row. Timeout called on the side of the Chinese pair. Li Swin is going to bring his years of expertise in here. Just caught a few words in there. Looked like there was a little conversation about different balls, changing, twiddling the racket. Now, even if you don't understand Mandarin, you could probably tell that there was more conversation about Chun Meng getting comfortable in her loops there, at least getting comfortable playing her game, just by the way the other two were talking to her. Getting her lacho, her loop in there. Watching from the backhands, the twiddles, the variety of spins. 2 match points saved, 2 to go. Oh, the counter loop goes long. Sato overpowered by the opening spin, and it pays off, encouraging and empowering Chun Meng out here. 11-8 and 4 games to 0. World number 1 and world number 2 looking to be quite sharp and in form out here. They will be playing the women's doubles final for the title this year. World Tour Grand Finals champions. And we'll see what happens on the other side. They're waiting for the winner of Du Hoi Kem and Lee Ho Ching from Hong Kong versus Japan's Hina Hayata and Mima Ito, the 17-year-old sensations. There it is, the 4-0 shutout, the bagel. Stick around, we've got a men's doubles